Two farmers can raise the same cattle, the same goats, even feed the same hay. But one farm grows animals 30 to 40% faster. So what's the difference? It's usually not the breed. It's not the pasture. The real difference is often the concentrate feed in the ration. And here's the surprising part. Most farmers don't actually understand what concentrate feeds really are. Because corn, soybean meal, rice bran, and oilseed cakes are all called concentrates. But they do completely different jobs inside an animal's diet. And later in this video, I'll show you the simple feeding mistake that slows down growth on many farms. But first, we need to understand what concentrated feeds actually are. In simple terms, concentrate feeds are nutrient-dense feeds with low fiber. That means they contain a lot of energy or protein in a small amount of feed. This is very different from roughage. Roughage feeds like grass, hay, and straw contain a lot of fiber and bulk, but lower levels of nutrients per kilogram. Animals eat roughage mainly for fiber, rumen function, digestion. But concentrates serve a different purpose. They are used to increase the nutrient density of the diet. In other words, they help animals get more nutrition without eating huge amounts of feed. Examples of concentrate feeds include grains, protein meals, bran, oilseed cakes. But here is the key idea many farmers miss. Not all concentrates do the same job. Some provide energy, some provide protein. Some help balance the ration and reduce feed costs. So to understand them properly, we need to divide them into 4 main categories. And the first category is the one farmers use the most. If livestock diets were like a car engine, energy concentrates would be the fuel. These feeds provide the calories animals need to grow, move, and produce milk. Most energy concentrates come from grains and cereals. Common examples include corn, barley, sorghum, oats. Among these, corn, also called maize, is one of the most widely used livestock feeds in the world. And the reason is simple. Corn contains very high levels of digestible energy. This energy helps animals gain weight faster, maintain body condition, support milk production. Without enough energy in the diet, animals may eat plenty of feed, but they will still grow slowly. However, energy alone cannot build muscle. Energy alone cannot produce milk protein. For that, animals need something else. They need protein concentrates. If energy feeds are the fuel, protein feeds are the building materials. Protein concentrates supply amino acids, which animals use to build muscle, body tissue, milk protein, enzymes, and hormones. Without enough protein, animals may have plenty of calories, but their bodies simply cannot build new tissue efficiently. This is why protein concentrates are especially important for young, growing animals, lactating dairy animals, high-production livestock. Some of the most common protein concentrates include soybean meal, sunflower meal, canola meal, fish meal, in some feeding systems. Among these, soybean meal is one of the most widely used protein feeds in the world. It is popular because it contains high-quality protein that animals digest easily. But there is one challenge. Protein feeds are often the most expensive part of the ration. And that's why many farmers look for alternative feeds that can provide some energy and some protein at a lower cost. This brings us to the next category. Some of the most useful livestock feeds don't come directly from farms. They actually come from food processing industries. These are called byproduct concentrates. Byproducts are the leftover materials from processes like grain milling, oil extraction, brewing, food manufacturing. Even though they are byproducts, many of them still contain valuable nutrients. And because they are secondary products, they are often cheaper than grains or protein meals. Some common byproduct concentrates include wheat bran, rice bran, corn, gluten feed, brewer's grains. These feeds usually provide a combination of nutrients. They often contain moderate energy, moderate protein, and a useful fiber that supports digestion. Because of this balance, byproduct feeds are often used to stretch the ration and reduce feed costs. They help farmers maintain nutrition while keeping the feeding program more affordable. But there is one more category of concentrate feeds that has been used for hundreds of years in livestock farming. And in many parts of the world, these feeds remain one of the most important protein sources available. Oilseed cakes are one of the oldest livestock feeds used by farmers. They come from a very simple process. First, farmers harvest oilseeds such as mustard, cottonseed, groundnut, or sesame. These seeds are then pressed to extract oil for cooking or industrial use. After the oil is removed, the remaining material becomes oilseed cake, and this leftover material is extremely useful as livestock feed. Why? Because it still contains large amounts of protein and nutrients. Common oilseed cakes include mustard cake, cottonseed cake, groundnut cake, sesame cake. These feeds are widely used in feeding dairy cattle, buffalo, sheep, goats. Many oilseed cakes also contain small amounts of fat, which adds extra energy to the ration. Because of their nutrient density, they are often used as important protein supplements in traditional livestock systems. But knowing these categories is only half the story. The real question is, when should farmers use each type? Once you understand the 4 categories, livestock feeding becomes much easier. Think of building a livestock ration like building a balanced meal. Each type of concentrate plays a different role. Energy concentrates provide fuel for growth and production. Protein concentrates provide the building blocks for muscle and milk. Byproduct concentrates help balance the ration while reducing costs. And oilseed cakes provide dense, traditional protein sources. A well-balanced livestock diet usually combines several of these feeds together. For example, a simple dairy cattle ration might include corn for energy, soybean meal for protein, wheat bran for balance, mustard cake for additional protein. When these feeds are combined correctly, animals can grow faster, produce more milk, maintain better body condition, stay healthier overall. And that brings us back to the question we started with. Why do 2 farms feeding similar animals sometimes get very different results? The answer is simple. The difference is not just what animals eat. The real difference is how the feeds are balanced together. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe to Livestock Insights, where we break down livestock farming in simple, practical ways. And in the next video, we'll explain all the mineral and vitamin supplements used in livestock feeding and why they're essential for animal health and production. So if you want to understand livestock nutrition from the ground up, you won't want to miss that one.